Are we hopping or crawling?
Princess Berry here today. We're at Disney's Beach Club Resort because it's time to celebrate the Easters.
Yes, it started on March 9th, but on March 18th, it's the official day of Easter here at Disney World, and it's going through April 6th. So we're going to try all the new treats.
Yeah, so we're going to hop and crawl our way around to these little goodies because it's your number one choice in food infotainment. We're here to try the new food so you don't have to. Because remember, she's vegan. I'm not. Hopefully I'll find a treat and not just a random field of grass.
It's time to foodie and chill.
We have the wonderful, celebratory, painted egg whoopie pie. You get the egg shape and then the most beautiful egg I've ever seen painted because mine as a child, were single color and boring. You have the stars, you have all the little pastel colors that we come to know and love with Easter. Beautifully built with that nice looking buttercream on there. Now it is already a soft whoopie pie because we've already gotten it all over our fingers, just sort of moving around the plate. So I'm excited. Let's go and give you a little mini cross section here. It is filled with the cream as every whoopie pie should be. The nice colors in there. See how it tastes? That is so delightfully moist. I have had a few whoopie pies at this park where like the filling may be good and then the actual like pie itself is like crusty and hard, like dried out. It's not pleasant. And then when you get the reverse where like it's a moist pie and then the filling is bad. This is the first one I've gotten in a long time where I thought both were equally excelling at what they set out to do. I'm getting those flavors in there at the buttercream. I love the colors. I love the taste. I love the texture, most of all. Honestly, I was expecting this to be bad. Like, very bad. This is the one unique item they have here at the Beach and Yacht Club. But it is a unique one indeed. I would give that a 4 out of 5 claws. Part of the fun here for Easter at the Walt Disney World is not just the treats, but the treats that the cast members have designed. They do egg displays across different resorts across Walt Disney World to sort of celebrate both with Disney IPs and just different things. And the creativity that they show is something that really shouldn't be missed.
So we're going to do our best to show you all of that and eat along the way, of course.
As we do.
With Bear and his whoopie pie that just looked very sticky to me.
I'm a whoopie pie boy. I'm not going to deny that life. I'm about that life.
I was not about that life even when I wasn't vegan. So more for you.
No complaints.
So let's check out some eggs.
What egg hunt isn't complete without an egg hunt at the Contemporary Resort?
One of our favorite hotels, I gotta say.
Yes, we
oddly enough
don't film near as much as we are here, and honestly, we could probably make a video for our full schedule if we only filmed the number of times that we came here.
Yeah,
I'm not even slightly ashamed of that. It's good. All the people we love are here. So.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a little different here. We're gonna do the eggs first and then the food.
Ooh. No Easter would be proper without my main man Thumper. I have a special connection to him, especially in his little Twitter pated form here. But they did a nice little scene here, the carrots and like the bushes, the roses. I mean, this is how I remember Bambi looking. I remember it tasting that good on the screen. Not that I licked the TV or anything to find out, but like, I love Bambi. It's one of my favorite movies, and getting a Thumper carrot cake for Easter, you know what? I'm on board with that. Colorful flakes and all. I'm going to try to cut it into this. Now this is just a carrot cake top. And then you have cream cheese buttercream in the middle. You know what? I try these things. So you don't have to. But I want a baby bear bite. Not like a huge bite. Just a baby bear bite. Because we're here for the carrot cake. You can keep your weird cheese cream buttercream icing. You know what? I'm taking a carrot too. Just for Thumper. That is actually a deliciously moist slice of the carrot cake. I'm glad that you'll be able to get this so many places here. During this Easter run all the way up through April 6th, you can find it at Saratoga Springs, Old Key West, all the moderate resorts, all the valley resorts, and Wilderness Lodge. So get you a slice of the wilderness with a carrot cake with a little quarter-pated rabbit on the back. That is quite tasty. Moist. I love the word moist. I would give this a 4.25 out of 5 claws. Risky, but worth it. And it can call me a flower if it wants to. It's carroty. It's not like super carrot form, like your carrot with sugar. It's more like a traditional store-bought grocery store, Kroger's, Piggly Wiggly, Publix level carrot cake.
This tofu and grain bowl is still not on the app or online menu, but has been here for quite some time. It is very sad compared to what it used to be. I'm not a huge fan of the sweet potato on this, and they give you pico and guac to go with it, which I always thought was confusing. Usually I just eat the tofu, and that's enough for me. I guess if you like sweet potato, you would like that. I'm not a huge sweet potato person, so not my favorite. Quinoa is cooked nice. I have no complaints about that. The guacamole is a little over limed and a little over cilantro, so not a huge fan of that. And the pico is okay, but that's kind of confusing too. I will eat just the tofu for this, and then I'm glad we're going somewhere else. I would give this a 2.75 out of 5 tofu bowls. This is a very sad iteration of what they used to have.
The way that this tofu bowl has persisted at this point, I feel like it's starting to be a crutch for Contempo Cafe. They were on like the up for a while, and now they sort of like plateaued. And with that plateau, you're seeing like slow dips in quality over time. I know that they can do so much better than this, so like this thing just looks sad. This looks like vegan roadkill. Like it just looks like the sweet potato has been beaten up and mashed in a back alley. The black, even like the black beans got a black eye. I mean, the avocado is fine, and the sauce is great, even though, you know, I question their significance in a bowl like this. The tofu is looking sadder than ever. It's like the mat on which we wipe our feet, but it's food. So let's go ahead and dive in. A little bit of everything and a little bit of tofu. There we go. Too much tomato. And I failed. I guess I'm eating it all. That was actually a red pepper and not a tomato. I have the same critique that I've always had for this bowl. Is it's hard to excuse tofu of this quality when we have places on property like Sebastian's Bistro or Satui Canteen. If they can get tofu right, there's really no reason for them not to get it right at Contempo Cafe. They have some excellent chefs in this building. I know one of you is the tofu master. Quit letting them embarrass you like this. The sweet potato and the quinoa is okay as far as like texture and food, but it just feels stepped on. I would give it 2.75 out of 5 stars. Now, as foodies, we love all foods, okay? And we're going all the way up to like a filet mignon to some sort of like quinoa basket, injera, lamb chops, whatever. As fancy as those foods are, sometimes I just like the classics. You've heard me rave about my love of sandwiches. Few on property come close to this turkey sandwich from Contempo Cafe. This is like one of those made-to-order deals. It's not like in the fridge, but we'll have what appears to be that same cranberry mayo, the tomato, thick-cut bacon, and then slices of deli turkey with some melted cheese in there on multigrain bread. So you're getting your vitamins in the multigrain bread and then ruining it all with cranberry mayo. I'm fine with that. That is very much still the cranberry mayo that I know and love, and very rarely will you ever hear me say the word love and mayo in the same sentence. It has its place, but light mayo for me, usually. My only critique on the sandwich is that it could use a harder toast on the bun with the tomato and the mayo on there. It starts to get a little bit soggy and fall apart, but everything else is still great. The bacon is crunchy. You get plenty of that turkey in there. The tomato is nice and fresh. A little bit of arugula in there because I know that Disney has a secret arugula vault, probably somewhere 13 stories below the Contemporary Resort that they use to pimp out arugula in all the places you never asked for it. But it is still an amazing sandwich. I would give that 4.5 out of 5 claws.
We were gifted a beautiful surprise of a dessert preview from Chef Mickey right next door. So we are going to start here with our beautiful gift with the Daisy plant-based cookies and cream. Ooh. Ah. Step aside, Epcot. You have a new mousse cup in town that is way better. And it has a very prominent Oreo taste to it too. So I think it truly embodies cookies and cream more than the Bambousse does at Epcot. And that's okay. I love this. I think this is amazing. This is a very delicious dessert that I am excited to have been given the privilege to try without a Chef Mickey reservation. We should make one soon, and you should comment and convince Bear to allow me to make a reservation because he's the only person that is preventing this from happening.
So Chef Mickey has moved to basically all character-themed desserts. They still have a couple extras over there, but these little cute themed desserts dropped a few weeks ago. And yes, I am probably the only holdup at eating these because honestly, eating a full buffet, that's an ordeal. That's like a foodie marathon and not the fun kind. But we will get to it. But until then, this little preview, this cookies and cream, I'm not mad at that. I love the colors. Even though they made it cookies and cream, they did the daisy colors on top. It's a nice touch. There's lots of little details, embossments in the bow, so you can see the shadows of where the bow folds would fall. You didn't have to do that, but you did, and I appreciate it. That is very, very good. It's definitely very strong cookies and cream, and you have all set by the yellow icing on top. It gives a little bit of enhanced sweetness. But that is a strong and powerful dessert. If you want to bury me, you can bury me in the cookies and cream cup any day. 4 out of 5 points. So, non-plant-based people, you are not left out. They gave us this chocolate Mickey tart. I think our complexions are pretty similar, though I'm not surrounded by a tasty tart or covered in sprinkles, but maybe I should be. Maybe not on YouTube. But cookies and cream, tons of chocolate on top. Like all things Mickey, I take his ear first because the mouse never listens. Now they say cookies and cream. I don't know if it's cookies and cream. It just looks like chocolate with a little bit of cookie dough and then tart on the side. I can't really, not really getting cookies and cream from that. But maybe it's going to be in the taste, you know? That's a chocolate tart. It's just chocolate on tart. Not a bad way. Ton of chocolate. A nice thick layer of chocolate. And that tart bottom, nice and crumbly. Falls apart in the mouth. Like mini buildings in a kaiju's way. I approve. I would give that a 3.75 out of 5 claws. I wish the sprinkles added a bit more. They're just for color though. I need you to understand the ways in which Chef Mickey is attempting to level up its game. Chef Mickey realizes where they are, okay? You have California Grill on the roof, and you have Steakhouse 71 on the bottom floor. That is a little bit of competition. It would make me nervous if I had to serve food in the same building as those two restaurants. And they have been steadily making small changes buffet, even before our last visit, to sort of ratchet things up. We saw mini full portions of food, and now it's the dessert game. So you have this mini cheesecake on top of an Oreo. It's a perfect little almost bonbon shaped piece of cheesecake on top of an Oreo cookie. quote unquote. Oreo, not Oreo. But it's cute. Almost too cute to eat. But that's not what we do here. Here we eat things. So I'm going to try to take the smallest piece of cheesecake. Oh, and the Oreo's got cream in it. I am on board.
Regular Oreo.
Is it an actual Oreo?
Yeah,
Regular Oreo?
it's
Okay.
Oreo.
Cute. I don't eat mini cheesecakes nowadays. And I've seen cheesecakes with like crumble, like Oreo on the bottom as like the base. I need a whole Oreo base on a cheesecake. Doing like a lactose-free cheesecake, but just like not crumbled. I just want like Oreos, cheesecake. You might even want a layer. Oreos, cheesecake, like a banana pudding. But who am I to tell you to do around here? That tastes amazing, and honestly, it's almost worth the hours of bathroom pain to eat the entire thing, but I'm not going to do that. 4.5 out of 5 plus. I will say for this preview of these desserts, the details on some of like the decorations for the characters is so like defined, more defined than I've seen them print anything in a long time, that it's almost like Lego minifig levels of like detail, the way that's like drawn on. It doesn't even feel printed. It literally feels drawn by hand. But you have this little Donald like profiterole. It's filled with cream here on the bottom, and then topped with cream on top with this little bow. Take a little bite. Oh yeah. Oh, why? Why do you do this?
Is it lemon?
Yep. It's not vanilla at all. It's lemon. Oh my god.
Well, Donald is sour.
I can see why if his friends are always playing tricks on him like that. I was so excited. Tempered and ruined by a mouthful of lemon. I'm just being facetious. It's fine. It goes well with the crust. The whipped cream on top is a nice touch, but it is a very strong, like, almost lemon pop of flavor in the mouth. I can see how certain lemon heads could enjoy that. I would give that 3.75 out of 5 plus. To tell you how much of a hidden star he is, Pluto also got his own little dessert. You have this tart with a coconut base, and then you have a Dole Whip part on top with these little like pieces of green sugar to represent him, and they're even throwing Pluto a bone. I approve of this foodie message.
Wait, but does it look like peas?
Looking at it, these green things, these green pieces of sugar do look like peas.
Ah.
They would never put peas on a dessert, right? Right?
Dole Whip.
Anyway, I guess we're just gonna pick this thing up because I don't think I could fork this open. Just do a full bite. Leave the bone for Pluto. Wow. That cross section, literally, coconut, Dole Whip. The green pearls, literally just sugar, but it's literally like 50% coconut, 50% Dole Whip. So pineapple coconut. I feel like that was like a Tech Nine song with the pineapple and the coconut. It'll come back to me when we're on the drive home. With the lime and the coconut, 1 and 2. Either way, that is a strong flavor. I was expecting to hate the coconut, but it's actually pretty well in balance with the pineapple Dole Whip top. If you love pineapple with a little bit of coconut, it's probably going to be your jam. Everybody else, buyer be warned. But I think execution-wise, that is a dessert. A little bit of fun, a little bit of surprise, great flavor all around. 4 out of 5 plus. Goofy giving it all up in a nice, super tall chocolate cupcake, because if any dessert's going to be tall, it's going to be the Goofy cupcake. He is the hardest working member of the Fab Five. I know that the mouse will come out and take all the credit, but you tell me that you've seen a Goofy in the parks and tell me that man's not working harder than anybody else. Say it with your chest. So, we're going to dive right in. I don't even know what side to eat him on.
I like his ears.
His ears are cute. Got little pieces of chocolate on the side. Actually, it's a pretty firm cupcake. I was expecting it to like fall apart, but it may take this forking rather well. Oh, look at that. It's colorful, some blue sprinkles on there. Its colors represented. Traditional chocolate cupcake, orange icing, but it's just icing, not like a flavored icing, and then just sprinkles of blue sugar. Honestly, it works. It's cute. Your kids will love it. I love it. Goofy's the best, except no substitutes. Solid 4 out of 5 claws for hitting all the bases perfectly. By the light of the Muppets, that was a good, like, unexpected additional dessert crawl within a crawl.
This is definitely going to be a crawl, but very desserty, more desserty than we expected it to be. But what is Easter without desserts?
You heard the girl. Probably a few bit short, but you still heard her.
So last stop. Let's go.
We have somehow found ourselves in the grandest of lobbies.
Yes, the Grand Floridian is another location that should have some eggs. I think they're sprawled out about the resort. It's not all in one central location this year. So I'm excited for that. And of course, we're going to go eat first. And then we'll do a little egg hunt.
Foodie scavenger hunt. I like it.
Unfortunately, flavor-wise, it's equal to Contempo Cafe. It's bland too. Very much for all palates. I actually saw them cook this tofu. You know how like they have those like revolving like toaster oven things with like the conveyor belts? They put it on one of those like metal sheets and then they just put it through that and then put it in the bowl. So like they didn't season it or anything. They just took it out of the thing and just put it in a tray and cooked it and put it in a bowl. So that's why it's so bland. There's like literally the only seasoning for this is the chimichurri sauce, and it's not enough to make the tofu delicious, and neither is this salsa situation. The rice is, let me just try the rice because I'm Persian and Nowruz is coming up and I need to assess this properly. The rice is not washed. The rice definitely does not taste washed. Whoever made that rice needs to go back to culinary school or Disney culinary school, whatever. The savior of this is the tofu. I'm definitely going to be eating all of the tofu. That's all I ate at my contemporary dish. And I don't know. I just think that it's sad that these deluxe resorts have such lame tofu options. And they do have like alt meat stuff that is pretty tasty too. But for the non-alt meat lovers, go somewhere else. Go to the Polynesian. Polynesian is where it's at.
There are times in this foodie mission of ours where both of us, have been called haters, but we hate with color, precision, and nuance. Maybe that's years of being experiencing rat beef on television and across our lives, but when we hate with specifics. So when you come at us with something that, you know, is below the quality that you have set for yourself, you do this to yourself. Either way, this looks slightly less stepped on than the contemporary. I mean, I did say maybe I would have taken back some of the contemporary slander, but you never know. This could surprise me, though. You know, I was looking at the top of the tofu and I was like, oh, look, it's seared a little bit. But just here where the princess witnessed, all hope just went out the window, or into the swamp in this case. That is a failure on so many levels. I don't even really know where to begin. Let's start with the main. The tofu is sad. Yes, it does look seared on one side, but it's barely like warmed. It's like it was enough to give it some color, but no sort of any like texture. It's almost like tofu straight out of the package with no seasoning. Now, I'm thinking that they're hoping to make up for the lack of seasoning with this corn salsa deal that's here in the base, but you put that with chimichurri, and it feels like the foodie equivalent of licking old paint. Like, it just does not work. It comes off as bitter. The chimichurri is too strong for the salsa. The salsa does nothing because of the chimichurri. And the chimichurri doesn't exactly match with the salsa. So it seems very confused. And then you get to the rice. And there's a saying of, like, once you make your bed, you lie in it. Imagine making your bed with dirty sheets. You would get kicked out of bed for this. I have to give this a 1.5 out of 5 claws. Even though the Contempo Cafe looked worse, I think it actually tasted better than this. That, maybe corn. Now, we have known about the Create Your Own Salad Station here at Gasparilla for some time and just haven't really gotten around to doing it. Today just happened to be one of those days where, I've already had a turkey sandwich tonight. I didn't want anything else too incredibly heavy, and I love rabbit food. That's why we call me sometimes the Rabbit. I was not peep to the Grand Floridian make your own salad game. This entire salad, with no proteins, because I didn't get proteins in it, was $12, $11.79, $11.89, $11.30. It is unlimited toppings. You can get every topping sitting out there if you want. There is no limit. They have spring mix and romaine. I went with romaine, and then I just went wild on the toppings. I got baby corn, edamame, chickpeas, bacon bits, blue cheese crumbles, a baby carrot medley mix. I got broccoli. And then I got a banana peppers and a low-calorie Italian dressing. They also had French and blue cheese. And then an Asian ginger dressing. But honestly, I just went nuts because I love salad. So many things. So many things that you would say, why would you do that to yourself? Baby corn, and then blue cheese crumbles, edamame, bacon bits. Oh, and I add whole tomatoes in here as well. And, I hate on whole tomatoes in the salad, and I asked for it. That's how excited I was when I realized I can get as many toppings as I want. I know, coming from somebody who has been called a carnist, a non-vegan, a flexitarian, this should have been dinner. I love me a good turkey sandwich, but honestly, if I had found this first, there would have been no turkey sandwich. I would have been full. I would eat this entire salad. The mix is wild and makes no sense, but it's literally create your own, and I created the chaos that exists in my mind. And then I put Italian dressing on it, so I had to eat it. Honestly, if you need a grab-and-go meal at Grand Floridian, for the price of this, I would take over any quick service food you try to serve me in Magic Kingdom with a smile. I might even wear like one of those little paper crowns. I love this. 4.25 out of 5 claws. We need more make your own salad stations.
The Bunny Burrow Cup is back, and it is vegan, and I am happy to tell you that as of March 18th, as of today, it is available also at the Carousel Coffee, the Boardwalk Deli, and the Mara, plus here at Gasparilla. So you do not have to come to Grand Floridian to get this beautiful Bunny Burrow Cup. I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, but it had a little bunny on top. This time when I went into the case, it had either an orange flower or a pink flower to choose from. But here you have all these beautiful layers. If I remember this correctly, it was tasting like the Sunshine Seasons Bay Mousse that we discussed earlier today. Let's see if it still does. That is so rich. That is so delectable. It is creamy. It is dark. It is chocolatey. It is certainly more like the mousse from Sunshine Seasons than it is that cookies and cream cup from Chef Mickey's. Of those three, I would put this one at the top. I didn't like this one as much in the couple years past, but this one is so rich and tasty that I have no notes. It's beautiful. I give it a 5 out of 5. It is a Princessity's item, and I'm excited to have a few weeks to eat this until it goes away.
Bunny Burrow Dirt Mousse Cup. The chocolatiest, the chocolatey. I like the layers, the mint chocolate lookiness of the cream, the flour on top. It's feeling like spring. Screw the bunnies. This is mine now. I like a good pudding cup. I have no idea why. No idea where that came from. No influences ever got me to do pudding cups. I just like pudding. Actually, it was my grandmother's nickname for me, pudding. But if you ever call me pudding in public, I will never answer you. Like, ever. That's a sacred nickname. I feel like I didn't get enough of the layers. That is a grade S. Not grade A, grade S pudding cup. Top tier. The flavors, the moistness, the levels of the chocolate. And then the bits of crumble in there. The icing, once you get like a full layer all the way down, is balanced. That first spoonful that I got only had like half the layer, so it was like more icing than cake. But once you get everything in there, mousse, it's good. It's a dirt cup. I feel like a bunny burrow. I feel like I evicted a bunny. I don't exactly feel bad about it. I felt like more like a reward than a punishment. So 4.75 out of 5 plus. I give it a little bit more moist. It's my only critique. Other than that, it's perfectly fine. Disney, it's March. It's March, somewhere after the first half of March, let's put it that way. And Black History Month was last month. Just like we have found all of 2025, we are still doing some of these celebratory months, but you aren't seeing Disney post about them anymore. So we found this Her Story dessert for Women's History Month, and you know we rock with Women's History Month. Tiana themed mint chocolate mousse bar cake, dealy, beautifully decorated. You know, got her Tiana's symbol on here. Got the bits of the yellow, the green represent her. This gigantic mousse bar. It even had its own little placard with like the silhouettes of the princesses on there, but you couldn't tell the people that was here. And now we're finding it, and March is almost over, so there's going to be a limited amount of people that we can tell about it. That breaks my heart. I want more people to experience the Her Story items and help us celebrate Women's History Month. And if you're going to make the items for Women's History Month, why wouldn't you tell the people that they're here? Make it make sense. But now that I get off my soapbox, I'm just going to cut. I don't know how I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to leave Tiana alone. I'm just going to cut in. This boy is sticky. Or girl. Or they, them. However you identify. This thing's still getting eaten. The struggle is real. There we go. I did it.
Yay.
Wow. 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 If Owen Wilson had a sister, wow. That level of just like, it's like your first taste of like a mint chocolate chip ice cream, but without the ice cream. So it's not like ice cold, and it's just like thick and rich, and you have that nice like chocolate base. Almost like a thin chocolate wafer cookie. That is so good. I love that. I love mint chocolate chip. That's one of my other nicknames. How I keep getting food themed nicknames, I don't know. Mystery for another time. Either way, that's amazing. That's a 5 out of 5 claws. That's on the Embarrassed Test list. I only wished it was vegan, so the princess could have some, because she would fight me for this. We might even get into like an anime hand-to-hand battle, yelling out super moves and stuff like that, because I ain't sharing.
You lose.
In your dreams. Not gonna lie, Gasparilla made me gasp.
I'm so excited that the Bunny Burrow Cup is available at more locations than just the Grand Floridian. It's been only the Grand Floridian for so long, and now that they've ruined their space for like the Easter Cottage and all those other things, it's exciting to see that they're kind of branching out on some of these desserts. Though I am kind of sad that like there's literally only 3 for Easter, and we showed you all of them. So unless Disney adds more like closer to Easter, which is totally possible if they do it in April, this is it. This is all you get.
Yeah, I'm not forgiving you for that Her Story thing. That was dirty. You did us dirty. You did the women dirty. Be ashamed of yourself. But there are eggs to find, so let's go on an excellent hunt.
Onwards.
have made our insides crawl.
Yes, we crawled on the desserts way more than we expected to. We had some great food and not so great food. And we saw some, but not all, of the Easter eggs. Everything is kind of changed around Disney World this year because of changes that have happened at these hotels. And so, I don't know. I'm excited and apprehensive and I don't know. I feel all the feelings.
Yes. I'm glad that we got some Easter treats, and there's even one for the princess to try, and then an extra one from Chef Mickey as well, so that was fun. I do think the eggs is still a worthy, like, little side adventure if you don't have, like, a park ticket for that particular day. But let us know what you guys think. Would you travel to resorts just to see some Easter eggs decorated by cast members themselves? Let us know in the comments below. As always, if there's anything else you'd like to see us do, the comments will always be the place to find us. Hit that notification bell if you want to see other videos like this, and
we have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We will see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And you should comment because our next video after this is the high tea experience.
Maybe there was an Easter egg in this video. Who knows? But you heard the girl.